Well, good morning, everyone. It's nice to have you back. So I'm just getting back into this game. I haven't looked at it in a few days, so I'm just trying to remember what I was doing. But I think, from what I can remember from our last recording, we were on to a pretty good start. We seem to be doing fairly well in the demographics, which was great. So really, let's press on with the plans of what we're going to do this session. So Denmark, he was looking a little bit. He's somewhere between an aggressor, somewhere between, his lands. Maybe I'm coveting his lands. You spend so long with the AI telling you, oh no, I covet your lands. I'm gonna be really angry with you because your lands look really, really nice to me. Well, actually, no. I'm beginning to think that maybe south is the most logical expansion for me. I mean, especially with all of that wine, that could go well for me. Especially with the pantheon I picked. If you remember, I picked an incense one. Oh, is that dye as an incense? Oh, I'll have to check that quickly. It may not actually be wine. Oh, no, it is. Wine and incense. Oh, wonderful. So maybe this wine is... I need to start looking at this as fairly decent expansion territory. So if you remember last time, we took over Congo, which has King Solomon's Mines, which at the moment we're going to leave it annexed for a little bit until I can unlock the courthouse. Just to check the research, you can see construction is going along here, so mathematics is going to be an option that we can pick soon. Now, we were focusing on construction just so we could upgrade our units to composites to give us a little bit more fighting ability, especially if Denmark is beginning to get a little bit fresh with us. We'd have to be able to fight him off. So let's advance quickly. Now we can see we've got some spare ivory here. China wants to give us some gold for it. I'm up for that. I'm very much up for that. But normally I look for at least 7 gold a turn. Unless I've really started to annoy the AIs, you can normally get 6 to 7 gold per turn. And you can see here that China only has 5 to offer. So for now we won't bother. I could have ended up getting an embassy, but there's no real point. Now. Okay, so exactly the same deal, but this time we're going to have a bit more gold up front. You can see that gold per turn, 45 turns, so obviously you get 45 gold for each one. So actually, he's offering me the equivalent of just over 6... Oh, no, my maths is terrible. Just over 4 gold per turn, just in that, plus the 2. So 6 gold per turn, plus an embassy. Actually, you know what? And considering it's such a nice lump of money up front, I'll take that. I can do that deal. You can see here it puts me into positive gold, which is lovely, and it's giving me a little bit to spend. So whilst we've got the expansion going on in the south, the potential war that may or may not kick off with Denmark. Now, I just got to double check. I have a feeling Denmark has the most military out of everyone. Yeah, there we go. So if we do fight with him, we're going to have to stock up a little bit more. So what can we do if we think an inevitable war is coming? Well, we need to crank up the production of our empire, and to do that, the easiest way is to get some more cities. So we need to look at where we can expand. So if we're going to wait to expand into the south, obviously we'll have to take over Denmark. Our most logical option is to fill in this bit here, aiming really for the deer, for the elephants, to see how much of that we can get. And of course, with a wide empire, we want to be shoving our cities as close to each other as they can be, because ultimately they're not going to get big enough to have overlapping tiles to be a really big problem for them. So I'm thinking probably we can go 4 from the right here to Mosankani. Probably on that sheep would be a good location. We could put another one on the deer. Again, this is all staying 4 tiles away. So 1 on the sheep, 1 on the deer, and then maybe 1 on this horse up here. That would give us 2 coastal civs and a civ by the mountains for some science. So some ships and some science. That wouldn't be too bad a result, really. And actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. We could put another one here where this elephant is. It would be right on the border of the desert, but that's fine. Okay, so we've got 4 locations for cities. Whilst we haven't fallen behind in literacy too much, you can see my value was 14, and actually the average is 12. Again, you can't take that with too much when Denmark still hasn't got writing. It does skew the average down a little bit. But the thing is that I'm not worried at the moment about keeping up on tech too much, because we've got tactics for that. So anyway, our composites are just I'm going to get them to sort of stay near each other. We'll keep taking a shot at some of these guys. Keep grinding us some experience. I think we got the honor track, didn't we? Yeah, there we go. So we need to start killing, get some culture for us. Now these workers, they have constructed a camp on those elephants. I'm just seeing if there's any. Okay, this sheep. We need to start to work that. So let's progress a little bit. Now you can see at the moment our score is nice and high. That's to be expected. Whilst we're not the techiest of civilizations, we have a lot of cities. There you go, construction and the classical era. Yay! Better late than never, hey? Classical era in only 1450. It's I bet tradition players are looking at this and going, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Now mathematics, actually, you know what, that looks like a fairly attractive option to us at this precise moment. We're going to have a little bit of expansion. We're probably going to go to war with Denmark. We need the courthouses, and actually the catapults wouldn't be bad for us to have. So let's do that. Now, okay, we need to just stop this. Spain is all great, but we don't want her taking any more of the experience, any more of the culture than we can let. So we're just going to make sure that we get the kill. Nice 10 culture for me there. Now, we have these horses. Wonderful. Let me just see. Now this elephant hasn't been claimed up here. Let's go. I might start automating my workers after a little while, but in the early stages of the game, I find that sometimes it's better to keep an eye on them. The one thing I find as well about automated workers is, I don't know if you've ever played on a really big coastal map or an islands map or anything that has continents. They can really start to annoy you by sort of taking the most long-winded shipping routes between all of your islands and you just get sunk, and it's a nightmare. Okay, so you can see actually that Teamwork here is actually growing a lot quicker than Mosankani. I'm just going to double check what everything is on. We've got default on everything for the moment. So you can just see that Teamwork it's just a better, more worked area for food at the moment. So we can probably start improving some of our lands. We've got a wheat field coming on here. So I don't think our capital is going to get too left behind. Let's just see, how much does a settler cost? We can outright buy a settler. That's great. We're going to do that. Get ourselves the next city. It saves us from having to wait on the production and the growth on our capital, which is great. Okay, Akika. You know what? I'm gonna have to change the name of that in a second. This is not going well for me in terms of pronunciation. We had kind of given up on the idea of claiming a religion, I think. At the moment, building a library for me is going to improve my science by a whole 1. So that really is not going to help me at all. We're going to be building cities as well, so the National College isn't going to be a wonder that we're going to build anytime soon. So really, it's a choice between a settler and another warrior. So I'm going to go for another warrior. I'm gonna churn out another spearman. I think it'll be good to get some foot soldiers. Now this archer, yeah, I could have probably upgraded him, but I decided I think the settler was probably the better option there. So let's keep firing here. I'm going to move this composite. Although he could have taken a shot, I'm going to move him in the way. I'm just going to get him ready. I don't want Spain from stealing that camp from me, because you know if they could, they would. And they're like that, Spain. Isabella, she looks all sweet and lovely, but then, taking your natural wonders. And a renewal of the denunciation. Oh, Denmark, what a... You really don't like me, do you? You really don't like me. I mean, I was still surprised by just how quickly Denmark managed to denounce me. That first set of turns, it was almost the first video. Maybe the second video. I should probably check back on that. And actually, this is quite exciting for me, because whilst this is, you know, probably the third recording and a number of videos down the line, it's actually, I only uploaded my first video to YouTube not last night, the night before. So this is all very exciting for me at the moment. I like to keep a few recordings in the backlog just in case, you know, for a day or two I can't get to recording, which actually was the case. It's been 3 days since I last recorded. But yeah, this is really exciting. I've actually put something on YouTube. Feeling like a bit of a pro with my with old Rusty here, the laptop, doing me well. So there we go. Right, so this settler, I think the first location I'm going to go for is this sheep. It's nice and close. Let's go for that one for now. And I know that, you know, there aren't going to be any barbarians here, so I'm gonna let the settlers wander into the unknown by themselves. I feel that's probably safe. Whilst I was talking, I just I claimed this camp, which was all very well and good. Let's just double check. So China was the only one that was concerned about my warmongering. Everyone else was fairly cool with me. In fact, Ethiopia and Spain, they were all friends with me. Actually, as I say, I think I mentioned this last time, but it would be great if we could get one of my allies to denounce Denmark as well, because then I won't get anything near as bad diplomacy penalties from going to war with them. Okie dokie. Just looking at the scores there, of the two friends, I think Ethiopia is the one I'm gonna want to keep more happy. Just looking at that score, Isabella, bless her, I don't think she's actually got a second city at this point, which is very strange. Normally the computer will spit out a second city really quickly, actually, almost as quickly as possible. I don't wait long after getting two citizens in their capital to churn out that first settler, which I always find a little strange. Although I did that this game because I'm playing nice and wide. They do it regardless in all situations, really, which I always find a little strange. So our gold income's about 0. We could be getting some more army right about now, but I think let's think what we can do. This place it's not in ultimate danger. It's not going to be attacked anytime soon, probably. I could be building a granary, but I don't want my cities to get too big too early. I could be getting I could be trying to build a wonder. I guess that's an option. And actually, since we last playing, I was thinking if I wrest control of the Congo, I can actually, whilst I'll get a bit of an unhappiness penalty, I'll be able to wrest control of that mine, and I might be able to pump out some wonders fairly quickly with these guys. So I might do that next turn, actually. Wait for them to get to 3 citizens, and then I will annex them. Yes, the unhappiness won't do me well, but negative unhappiness on a wide empire, you want to always be sort of balancing around it. And speaking of unhappiness, I could be building a Colosseum, but you know what? I don't think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna build some spearmen. You never know when army's gonna come in handy, really.